Mark. Let's start with the signing of Mark Roberts first. What was it about him that made you think, yep, he's the one I want?
I think the fact that he's played so many games, he's been at good clubs and been successful at this level and above and below. So it just ticked all the boxes, really. I've known him, I've met him a couple of times over the years. He's played with and for people that I know. And they only had good things to say about him, and obviously I've seen him play in the flesh against my teams, and he's what we're looking for. He's like I say, he's got that bit of experience. He's good defender, solid, and then just I think he'll give our younger players that little bit of guidance.
And presumably, having started his career at Crewe, he can play as well. Yeah,
but he's not. I think. There's playing, isn't there? I've just been sat with him for an hour, showing him how I expect our defenders to play, and I think he's just come round off the floor. But, I think he's looking forward to it. I think he's going to embrace the way we want to play, and I think he's looking forward to the challenge.
And is he in contention for Colchester away on Saturday?
Yeah, for certain. We're not bringing in a player of that ilk to not use him.
And he's left-footed as well, I believe. So, left-footed centre-halves, they don't grow on trees, do they?
I thought he was right-footed.
Is he? Oh, we might edit that a little bit out. But I mean, just certainly that wealth of experience. He knows Scott Laird as well, which I suppose that's just going to help him settle in, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously, I'm sure he spoke to Lairdy about us. I certainly spoke to Lairdy about him, and Lairdy told me exactly what I thought he would tell me. So I think it's a really good signing for us. I could have gone out and signed anybody, but I wanted to make sure I was prepared to wait. And we got away with it on Saturday with 3 points. We were a little bit unstable defensively but I was prepared to wait to get the right one, and hopefully it's paid off.
Are you done now?
Nope. No, I think we're looking for another quick forward, somebody that can maybe play wide and got a bit of pace, but not easy to find.
What chance of that happening? I mean, or is it just one of those that if you can get it, great. If you can't, well then you'd be happy to go with what you got. Yeah,
happy. Obviously, we lose Omar for a couple of games with international duty after Saturday, so we'll be one down there for a couple of games. Yeah, I'm pretty doubtful it'll happen before the weekend, but we'll certainly try and get something done before the window shuts.
And looking at Colchester, obviously you've got that first win under your belt. How much difference has that made this week in training?
Yeah, it's the place has been a happy camp. The players were what's the word? They were a little bit embarrassed, a little bit. They're very happy, but they know that there's a lot of things to work on. Embarrassed in the fact that we conceded 3 goals and we could have been out of sight. The game could have been dead and buried before we got back into it. So they're desperate to put things right on that front, and we want to be a lot more solid as a unit.
And as a coach, that's got to be great because they're wanting to improve and not resting on their laurels after all.
As a coach, he's given me plenty to do this week. So, and I think a big part of that is by bringing Mark in. That'll go towards it. We've got, if you look at the 2 centre halves on Saturday, Manny and Jack, and then Alex coming in. They're relatively young. Well, Manny's not old at 22, and Alex and Jack are both babies. So I felt we needed something there to give us that little bit of guidance.
Colchester, they've had a disappointing start from what they'd have wanted. Does that make them dangerous, or is there an opportunity, or both?
No, I think if you look, they've got a terrible injury list. We've probably got 7 players injured that will be in the starting 11. So they're having to cope with that. But I watched their game against Luton. I watched that back, and it was 0-0 going into the 47th minute, just before half time, and they conceded. And they were well in the game. So we know it's going to be a difficult task. Any game going away from home in this league is a difficult ask. But hopefully we can produce that real attacking flair we've got. and we can be a little bit more solid at the other end.
Everyone okay for the weekend? Drissa Traore back available?
Yeah, Drissa went home last week to tidy up a few issues, and it was important that we don't flog Drissa because he missed 2 or 3 weeks of pre-season with his mum passing away sadly, and he's still catching up. He felt a few niggles and bumps and bruises last week, so we decided to give him a complete break, let him go back to France and sort out what he needed to sort out. So no, there was no fallout there.
I mean, it's just managing players, isn't it?
That's the key part, is managing players, but it's also players that are desperate to play for the club. It's easier to manage players that want to play for the club that don't.